You are probably not going to want to hear this if you're a 49ers fan, but I am a Seattle Seahawks fan. So it's going to pain me a little bit to make the 49ers good, but that is exactly what we're going to do today. But super quick before we get into today's rebuild, if you did not see the last video, I'm upping the like goal on all my videos to 30, and we actually did hit that on the last one, which I'm very happy about. Again, let's see if we can hit 30 likes, and if we can, I'll be happy, I guess. And we hit the sub goal on the last video, which was 230, so let's shoot for 250 on this video. And huge shout out to the football player 8196 for the suggestion of this video. Go drop them a sub. I have already dropped them a sub, but if you want a shout out just like that one, comment down below what team I should rebuild next or what type of rebuild I should do next. And I just created a Twitch account. If you want to be one of the first followers of that, I'm gonna actually be doing these rebuilds live, at least most of them. So if you want to be a part of my videos, help me make some of the decisions, go follow my Twitch. I would appreciate that a ton. But last thing, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, everything like that, because I can truly feel my channel growing, and it's a great feeling. Like, I've only been doing rebuilds for a couple months now. I'm already getting a lot of comments, a lot more likes and subs than I thought I would be getting. I know like 230 subs isn't a lot, but we've doubled our sub count in the last month, less than a month, and over double, so I'm very, very thankful. But enough being corny. Don't murder me today, 49ers fans, but let's rebuild one of my least favorite teams in the NFL. I'm sure that won't make people mad, but as always, thank you so much for watching. Hello everyone, it is Brandon the Simp here, and today I'm gonna be putting my life on the line for the things I'm about to say here. If you have not seen one of my rebuilds before, or I guess I should say, if you have seen one of my rebuilds before, you would know that I'm like weirdly optimistic about every team in the NFL. Oh, here's a player that could break out for literally every hole on every team. Pause. But this 49ers team, I don't know how to feel about it. Maybe it's my bias. I try not to be biased, but this team is just iffy to me. A big reason is health has been a big problem in the past few years, and there's no reason that we should expect that to change. However, this team does have some amazing players. Trent Williams is arguably the best lineman in the entire NFL. What he does as a run blocker is insane. He's like the biggest mauler of a lineman I have ever seen. I know talking about a lineman right off the bat is kind of boring and weird, but I mean, he's just so good. George Kittle's a top 2 tight end, kind of 1A, 1B with Travis Kelce, or Kels, technically. But yeah, George Kittle is amazing. He's kind of like just a receiver playing tight end. Well, he's also very, very good at blocking, but I just mean in terms of his routes, he's very good. Deebo Samuel is a player I do think is overrated. He's a very good run after catch receiver, but he does have a lot of drops a lot of the time, and he gets kind of schemed open. His routes aren't that good. However, clearly with my custom ratings here, I still do believe he's a very good player for what he does in terms of after the catch. Fred Warner is a very good linebacker, obviously one of the better cover linebackers in the NFL. Nick Bosa, I actually think is underrated. I think he's like a top 3 to 5 pass rusher in the NFL. I even really like Eric Armstead, Dre Greenlaw. Jimmy Ward is one of my least favorite players in the NFL because he's kind of a dickhead online, but he is a good player for sure. Hell, I even like Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell, Mike McGlinchey. He's a very good run blocker. But let's get into the pessimism of this team. Starting off with their interior offensive line. So Alex Mack retired, and I don't know what they're gonna do to replace him. Aaron Banks was like a 3rd round pick for them. It was really random. I thought he was like a 5th, 6th round player, but you never know. They must have seen something in him, and I trust this organization. Their center, Jake Brendel, not a fan of. Daniel Brunskill, I do like, so there is potential here. It's just all 3 positions, I doubt that's gonna happen, where they have a good player, I mean. So I don't know. Another spot of maybe pessimism is quarterback. I did like Trey Lance coming out, but he was a smaller school guy. He doesn't have much NFL experience. There is a great team around him, so I do expect him to develop, honestly, but we just don't know yet. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo is Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not great. I think he's overhated at this point, but he's not great. And a few more areas of concern our cornerback and safety. Your corners haven't been staying healthy. I mean, that's not surprising when you have Jason Verrett, the definition of unhealthy. Well, I mean, in terms of like injuries, I'm not calling him fat or something. And at strong safety, I actually do think George Odom could be pretty good. It's just very unproven. He's been a depth player. I think he was a really good special teamer with the Colts. I don't know if he played too much. However, I'm going to start Talanoa Hufanga here. He's only 21, or he's probably 22 in real life, but he's only 21 here. Definitely a box safety, but you know, that's what they roll with. Obviously with Jaquaski Tart last year, so we'll see. I feel like I was a little harsh on this team. I definitely think this is an okay team, and I expect this coaching staff to definitely elevate it to be a playoff team. However, injuries could prove to be a problem for this team is all I am saying. But without further ado, if all 49ers fans have not left yet, let's get into year number 1, and I'll see you guys at the midseason point. Alright, here we're doing something that would absolutely make me want to die as a Seattle Seahawks fan. We are trading Jimmy Garoppolo to the Seahawks for a second round pick. I don't think Jimmy is the worst, but I think he would be terrible with Seattle, and I think he would make them slightly better, and maybe keep them out of contention for a player like Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or one of them, so I would despise if Seattle did this. But here it kind of makes sense. Okay, at the midseason point of year 1, we are 5-1, and I'm realizing I definitely was too harsh on this team in the intro. I mean, I have them at like, I think they're an 81 overall in my rosters, which is one of the higher teams, so I definitely don't hate this team. But we have a few breakouts here, actually. I wonder who this is going to be. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. So let's go. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it really matters anyways. I don't know what it does, but I think we have to get him 150 yards is what it said. So we'll see if we can do that. I don't think we can, but we will try our best. And who is this breakout? I have no idea who this is. Oh, Deebo Samuel. So Deebo has 2 breakouts. Okay, I don't know how that works, but imagine if he gets both. He will be like a 99 overall. And he has an upgrade. He will be a 100 overall then. And we have some re-signings. I wonder who this is going to be. I actually have no idea. Azeez Al-Shaair, Juwan Jennings, who I did give star dev because I think he will be good in real life. I put Daniel Brunskill at center, although that's not realistic, but I thought it would be a good opportunity to play a player that could do well. But I'll re-sign some of these players. It's kind of just a lot of depth pieces other than 2 at the top. Ooh, he wants a lot of money. I'll do it. I think he'll develop. Okay, we'll bring him back for 4 years. I think it was 33 million. Okay. And Juwan Jennings also wants a bit of money. I gave him star dev, so I will. Okay, he wants more money. Fuck you too then. So the rest of these guys I'll just re-sign off recording. And I'm actually kind of curious. Obviously, we're starting Trey Lance. I want to see how he's doing. Oh, he's doing so well. Oh my god. 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, 73% completion percentage. What is his overall up to? He's up to a 74-75 with morale. He's doing amazing. Elijah Mitchell is not. Oh god. Well, looks like neither of them got their breakout. Okay, so before I reveal the record, this was a very, very good year 1. This is probably the best I have ever done in year 1, but here's a quick look at the team. We're doing great. I mean, everyone's developing super well. Clearly, you can tell from all the morale and everything. But we finished 12-5. Here in the wild card, we're going against the 9-8 New Orleans Saints, and apparently I just have to talk shit on the teams for them to do well. Unfortunately, no scenarios here, so I guess I'll just sim this one out. We destroyed the Rams in Week 18, 38-19, but let's see if we can get a dub against the Saints, and we can barely, 28-27. And again, no scenarios. After the playoffs, I will check the season stats. I realized I forgot to do that, but I'll just do that afterwards. So let's see if we can take down the 10-7 Dallas Cowboys. We are 1 overall worse than them. Our defense is slightly worse, but let's see if we can still beat them at home. Big rivalry game, and we get destroyed. In terms of stats, though, Trey Lance did very well. 4,300 yards, 38 touchdowns, 11 interceptions as a rookie. Regressed a little bit technically, I I guess, in the second half of the year, but still was amazing as a rookie. In terms of rushing, Elijah Mitchell had a lot of yards, 1,200, but only 3.7 yards per carry with 10 touchdowns. Trey Sermon actually had almost 600 yards with 4.5 yards per carry and 11 touchdowns. Also, Elijah Mitchell had 5 fumbles. That might be the most I've seen in Madden. Do I start Trey Sermon? I don't think 49ers fans would be very happy if I benched Elijah Mitchell, but I kind of want to start Trey Sermon, I'm not going to lie. We had 2 1,000-yard receivers, 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns for Debo, 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns for George Kittle. Brandon Ayuk and Juwan Jennings both did well. Blocking, surprisingly very good. Our only bad lineman was Justin School, letting up 7 sacks at guard, but overall, this was a really good group. Probably because we ran the ball so much. And I see a stat that I'll get to in a minute. Fred Warner led the team with 117 tackles. Nick Bosa had 16 tackles for loss and 21 sacks. You heard that right, the funny number, 21 sacks. That is close to the all-time record. I didn't expect that. I didn't know Nick Bosa did that well in this game. I kind of thought he would be one of those players that is a good overall, but they don't perform that well, but no. Definitely not. D Ford, Eric Armstead each had 5.5 sacks, so not much pressure from anyone else really. And in terms of interceptions, 4 from Jason Verrett, 2 from Fred Warner and Talanoa Hufanga, and then 1 from a lot of players. So MVP goes to Christian McCaffrey. Trey Lance is at number 9. I thought he would be a lot higher than that, but at least he places on here. I don't think he got many rushing yards, which is kind of weird because I feel like they definitely would use him in that way, but you know, hey, it's EA. He gets number 5 for Offensive Player of the Year. No other 49ers. Jameis Winston in there. Okay. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Nick Bosa. I think I said Offensive Rookie of the Year. I meant Offensive Player either way. Nick Bosa gets Defensive Player of the Year. That's amazing. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Trey Lance. Elijah Mitchell at number 4. Neither of them are actually rookies anymore. And Trey Sermon comes in at number 7. We had 3 players up there. None of them rookie. And Defensive Player of the Year goes to Zaven Collins. No 49ers. I'm all over the place in this rebuild. I am sorry. Okay, so the Cowboys take down the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So at least we got destroyed by the Super Bowl champion. That's a pretty realistic Super Bowl. I mean, both of those teams got a little worse in this offseason, but I guess I could technically see it. And in terms of re-signings, I'll bring Juwan Jennings back just because he has that dev and he played pretty well. We'll see if he resigns. Okay, he does. I'll even bring Daniel Brunskill back because he did pretty well at center. I mean, there's no reason to replace him if he played well. You know what I mean? Oh, it did the stupid ass glitch again. Hold on. Okay, so I mean, if you've seen one of my rebuilds before, you know I don't go very heavy in year 1, and we're doing the same thing here. I went after Jacoby Myers, but he rejected us, so fuck you. And we'll go after Nick Needham. We got him in just because Emmanuel Mosley did really, really terribly last year. Only 3 pass deflections, 1 interception, with 33 catches allowed. That's not ideal. He was definitely our weak link in the secondary, so I'm hoping Nick Needham will help us out. So here in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions have the number 1 overall pick, and I had to go through the pain of trading back for the Dolphins pick, because that should technically be ours this year. So I had to steal Teron Armstead and Teddy Bridgewater and trade them back to him. It's a whole annoying thing you have to do. I wish there was a way to force things like that, but unfortunately you can't. But I really don't know what I'm going to do here, so maybe I did all that for kind of no reason. Okay, so I was looking for either a good safety, a good lineman, a good receiver, one of those positions, but there were literally none. So we're going to go Thomas Diaz here. Thomas Diaz is 6'6", 320, only 22 years old, out of Ohio State. He is very athletic, ran a 4.86, and he also had 41 reps on the bench, and he was first for defensive tackles in 3-cone and 20-yard shuttle. This guy looks amazing. And not to mention, he has A play rec, which is one of the most important stats in my opinion. Awareness and play rec go a lot into overall. B block shed, B finesse moves, A impact blocks, so I don't know for sure if he is going to be a speed rusher. I would guess so with B finesse moves, but you never know, he could have good power too. But let's take him. He looks amazing. Of course, he has normal. He does have 93 strength, 84 speed, or 74 speed. I wish it was 84. I thought he was going to be a little faster, but 74 isn't bad at all. Should be a pretty decent overall still. Hopefully. Here we are going to go with Addison Carruthers. I don't know how you say that last name. I see it all the time in this game rarely in real life. I think it's Carruthers or something, but he is 6'5", 299, only 21 years old out of Texas. 33 reps on the bench is very good. A awareness, A pass block power. He has A's across the board, other than the B run block finesse, but still B is very good, so let's take him. And he does have hidden. Okay, I was kind of worried he would be one of those players that are a good overall but don't have a dev trait, but I do prefer a good old dev trait. Here we're gonna go with a hopefully upgrade at safety. Niles Hargrove is a pretty decent looking safety, projected second to third round talent, so about right in this range. Ran a 4.5 flat at the combine, so he's pretty decently fast for a safety. 19 reps on the bench, so he is strong too. His stats aren't anything special. I do like the play rec, the pursuit. The zone coverage leaves a bit to be desired, but he does look like a box, well, I don't even know. He kind of looks like a box safety, but he does have quickness and he's not the biggest, so I don't know, let's just take him. And he unfortunately has normal, but he probably will start for us. If not, he'll be a decent third safety. And I'm actually going to go with another center. We're going to go Bernard Stevenson, only 21, ran a 5.02 at the combine, 31 reps on the bench. A awareness, a few B's and only one C, so looks like a pretty good player. Let's take him, and he does have hidden. Okay, that is a huge steal for the late third round. That was a really good pick. Okay, so we had a pretty decent draft. Thomas Diaz, even though he does have normal, is a 76 overall. Obviously amazing strength. His finesse moves, I believe, is what was scouted. It's only a 69, which nice, but not nice at the same time. I wish it was higher. Looks like a really good player. 79 play rec as a rookie. That's kind of crazy. He looks really good. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He just looked like a BPA pretty much. Addison Carruthers or whatever, 85 strength, really good pass blocker, decent run blocker, so he looks like a very good player. Not a great scheme fit, because you know the 49ers do like their running, but either way looks like a very good center. Niles Hargrove is a 69 overall, again, nice, and is a run support player, which was pretty obvious, so yeah, he looks a lot like a box safety. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have the size for it, but just his attributes kind of look like that. Not the best block shedding, but he is a safety after all, and he's decently fast for a box safety too, so he will probably start. Bernard Stevenson is a 72, 87 strength, good power, not the best finesse, but looks like still a very good player. And then the CPU drafted a corner, Marcus Gregory, no dev trait. He's fast, that's about it. Here is a look at the team going into year number 2 of the rebuild, and honestly, I kind of have huge expectations for this team. Especially after the year Trey Lance had last year, placing on the list for MVP. He did very, very well. This offensive line, the 2 players I added, will be very helpful. We didn't necessarily need a new center, but left guard was a bad position for us, and we still have Aaron Banks, so we have a really young interior O-line with one amazing tackle and one solid tackle. On the defense here, Nick Bosa is almost a 99, and I rearranged the defensive line kind of. I'm actually going to start Javon Kinlaw as our number 2, but we moved Eric Armstead back to defensive end. Drake Jackson, who I don't even think I talked about, is a very good pass rusher, very young. Corner room is looking much better, and I do want to start this Hargrove guy at safety. The linebacking core is amazing, especially with Fred Warner there. This is a really good looking team, so we'll have to see how it performs, but I will see you guys at the mid-season point of year number 2. Okay, so that first little part I recorded earlier this morning, and while I was gone today, Julio Jones signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Carson retired. I hate being a Seahawks fan. I don't know why all their good players get hurt and have to retire. It sucks so bad. Riley Reif got overpaid by the Bears, so that's interesting, I guess. Today was definitely an interesting football day. But at the mid-season point of year number 2, we are 6-1 again. We have some re-signings here. I'm kind of curious who these are going to be. So let's re-sign Nick Bosa, first things first. Let's offer him 7 years, 150. That's actually not that bad of a deal. That's like 22 per year. That's pretty good. Debo, we will offer 5 years, 100 million. That's just slightly over 20. These are pretty good deals. Dre Greenlaw, I'll re-sign, who's getting edge money, unfortunately. Will I sign him? I feel like he could be replaceable. For that kind of money, that's quite a bit of money. I'll wait on him. We'll see what we're looking like at the end of the year. Eric Armstead, I definitely want back. That's not that much. 3 years, 36. like 12 per year. Jimmy Ward, I'm not going to re-sign. I might bring him back in free agency. Mike McGlinchey, definitely. Mitch Wishnowsky, the punter, sure, I'll bring him back. 3 years, $6 million. I realized I have my controller on my desk that's probably clicking. So the rest are just a lot of depth players, and then Dre Greenlaw I'll come back to. Okay, that's really weird. We had pretty much the exact same season. We were 6-1 at the midseason and 12-5 to finish it off, so we technically regressed a little bit, but not too bad. Let's see what these season stats were. So Trey Lance is a little bit worse than last year. 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but you definitely take that. Elijah Mitchell, I think I'm gonna look for a new running back. He hasn't been very good. Just over 1,000 yards, 3.6 yards per carry, only 6 touchdowns, only 1 fumble this year, but still. Trey Sermon had 11 touchdowns, less yards per carry. It looks like our whole offense wasn't as good. Our O-line maybe got worse. I'll have to see. George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk each had over 1,000 yards with 10 and 11 touchdowns, respectively. I hate using that word. I don't know why. It just seems corny. I don't know. It just seems weird. Deebo Samuel with 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. Ray McCloud started in the slot. I probably should have checked that, but he had 700 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Okay, I will definitely bench him for Juwan Jennings. I didn't realize he was playing. No, our O-line was actually very insanely good. How many sacks did we take on the year? Only 27. Where did that rank in the league? So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league. 7th best O-line. That's crazy. Fred Warner led the team with 111 tackles. Tackles for loss, Nick Bosa had 15, Eric Armstead with 12, Javon Kinlaw with 11, and Nick Bosa had 14.5 sacks. Eric Armstead even had 9, Javon Kinlaw had 7.5, Drake Jackson's a little disappointing with only 3. Actually, very disappointing. I was hoping you would break out, but apparently not. And interceptions were a bit down this year, I think. Only 9 in total. 2 from Nick Needham, Fred Warner, and actually Niles Hargrove. Potential defensive rookie of the year here? Maybe. 89 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, no sacks, 2 picks. Maybe not, but he did have a pretty good rookie year. And 1 each from 3 players. But let's check awards. I want to see this. So MVP goes to Lamar. Are we going to see Trey Lance? No. Okay. Offensive player of the year does go to Christian McCaffrey. Trey Lance comes in at number 8. Defensive player of the year goes to like 36-year-old JJ Watt, or however old he is at this point. Nick Bosa does come in at number 6, so at least he does get up there with 14.5 sacks. I would sure hope he does. George Lindstrom of the Lions wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. No 49ers. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Frank Ward of the Cardinals. Hargrove comes in at number 6. I was hoping he would place like top 3, but at least he was on there. So this was a very good team. Even though it does seem a bit worse than last year, we still went 12-5, and we had some players, you know, do super well. But we have a one last hurrah scenario here. Let me see what this is. There was someone trying to retire, like, in the season. It was like the calling it, or not calling it quits, whatever. Trent, oh no. Oh, fuck. Oh no. That would be awful if he did that. I really hope he doesn't, but we get plus 10 morale. Hey, he can retire if we win the Super Bowl this year, okay? I'm not going to end the rebuild if we win the Super Bowl, but if we do, it's already successful. So if we win it, he can retire all he wants. But let's see if we can take down the Washington Commanders. I know it's still the football team in this game, but we have a much better offense, 8 overall better. We have a slightly worse defense, but we're 3 overall higher. We should be able to beat them, but we probably won't. Yeah, I was right. We lose. I'm not gonna check that and hope he doesn't retire. Let's go to the offseason. Ugh, that's a terrible Super Bowl. The Cowboys beat the Jets 28-20. I know we had the Saints-Cowboys Super Bowl in the last video. This one's like a really toxic fan base Super Bowl too. The Jets talk so much shit for being such a bad team. Like, I don't know, dude. It's just weird. Like, do you really have room to speak? I mean, come on now. But either way, the Cowboys do win against the Jets in Super Bowl. I guess there'd be 58 at this point. But we don't actually have much money. Are there any cuts I can make before I re-sign Dre Greenlaw? Because that will determine if I do it or not. No, we definitely do not. I am not gonna re-sign him. I might get him in free agency, but I'm probably just gonna spend that money elsewhere. Unfortunately, I know 49ers fans really do like Dre Greenlaw, but I think he's good too, but I'm not going to pay him that much money. I just don't think linebacker's that valuable of a position, but this is a terrible free agency class. Maybe I should have just re-signed him. We are really strapped for cash in free agency. So the two moves I'm going to make are for Levante, ironically 2 Buccaneers, I didn't even realize that, but we're going to go after Levante David. We're going to play him to replace Dre Greenlaw. He is older, but it's only going to be for 1 year, and I currently think he's one of the best linebackers in the league. I don't think that's really an unpopular opinion, but still. So he should fill that void nicely. And then Sean Murphy-Bunting, another Buccaneer like I said. I didn't realize our corner room was this bad, but our highest overall is a 78 after Jason Verrett regressed this year, so I don't know, man. We'll see what this team can do this year. I don't have a lot of hope, but I hope it surprises me. Okay, that is exactly what I expected. So Levante David does accept, but Sean Murphy-Bunting rejects. I'm not too upset about that. Our corners, even though they aren't the best overalls, they didn't play terribly last year. I think I'll just bring Jimmy Ward back because he's super cheap, only 1 year, $4 million. I'm 100% fine with that. So here in the draft, we have the 24th pick, and there are actually some pretty good players in this class at positions of need. I'm between 2 players, the first one being Raymond Smith. This guy is insane. He's 6'5", 311 as a defensive end, and he ran a 4.69. That is like tight end speed, like good tight end speed. Also put up 32 reps on the bench. This guy is a freak. And not to mention, he has A play rec, and B's for the rest of his actual important stats. So that guy looks insane. However, we did draft that guy last year, whose name I can't remember right now. I can never remember names. I think the guy I'm going to go with is James Pritchett. He's 22 years old. He's a corner. He ran a 4.39 at the combine, a 4.32 at his pro day. He was first for bench reps, 23 at the combine, 25 at his pro day. Also first for broad jump, but he also has B awareness, B zone. I'm kind of talking myself into the other guy. I don't know if he would for sure get playing time, but I do think the other guy would. We could also play Pritchett at safety. He doesn't really have that build, but he's strong. He has good tackle. I don't know what his pursuit or anything is. This dude screams normal dev. He should scream hidden because this guy should technically have all the upside in the world, but that's not how this game works, apparently, which is so stupid. This guy's totally gonna have normal, but let's take him. No, he doesn't. Okay, Raymond Smith has hidden dev. That's actually huge. So this guy, I know he's 6'5", 311, but he's fast. I might honestly just straight up play him at as a defensive end. Kinda in the Michael Bennett role, I guess, even though he's quite a bit bigger than Michael Bennett even. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I'm going to do with him. Here we're going to go with Danny Clifton. He's a projected first to second round talent. He's not fast at all, but he is very strong. This dude's definitely going to be like a box safety. Although his coverage isn't the worst, but look at those A's. The finesse move and stamina don't matter, but A hit power, A block shed, that's pretty cool. B's for most of the rest of his important stats, and then C-man, C-zone. This guy looks really good. Even his coverage isn't that bad, so let's take him, and of course he has hidden. Obviously he's not fast, but all those stats are good. All of them are green at the bottom. This guy looks really good. He'll probably be like a 70 overall. And with the last pick I'm gonna take, we're gonna go Brandon Hyde. Elite name, and he's left-handed just like me, and he's from Oregon, which I guess is that's weird, and he's the same height as me? Is this me? This might be me. It's kind of weird. He ran a 4.68, which is decent. 24 reps on the bench. A awareness, A pursuit. Those are pretty important stats. Obviously not a pass rusher. I think he's going to be more of a coverage linebacker. Might even be just a pure run defender. I don't know, but let's take him. And he has hidden. Okay, cool. This guy looks very good. And he just like me, for real. This might be the most stacked team I have ever made. I mean, the Vikings one was very good, which if you haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. But this team is insane, purely because of the star power we have. So luckily, Trent Williams did not retire. I'm very happy about that. This offensive line in general is looking pretty good. I mean, the only weak link is Aaron Banks, and even then he plays very well. George Kittle is a 99 overall here, so that's amazing. I'm going to play Kyle Juszczyk as our number 2 tight end. I have to move him there in the depth chart, though. The receivers are looking amazing. It's not as top-heavy as it is in real life with Debo. I mean, Ayuk is good in real life. It's just, he's not as good as people say, but he has a lot of potential for sure, and I think he will be. It's just people confuse potential with actually currently being good. That's going to make people mad, but Elijah Mitchell, his overall is good, but he's been playing terribly. Trey Lance, kind of the opposite. His overall isn't as high as I would expect it to be, considering he's young. He is superstar, and he has been playing very well. The defense here, Fred Warner is a very good linebacker. I don't know why he's who I went to first, but yeah, just this defense in general is looking very good. The corners are a bit iffy, but we have 3 79 overalls, and I'm kind of worried because we don't have like a true like super good corner. The D-line is amazing and incredibly deep. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't show the overalls. So Raymond Smith is a 74 overall. Good run defender, not much of a pass rusher though. Brandon Hyde ended up being a 71 overall, and he's about what I expected. Not good in coverage at all. Really bad in coverage, but a very good run defender. That crashed my game. I accidentally clicked Levante David. This is stupid. And then the other player we picked was Danny Clifton. He is very, very good. 74 overall, and honestly he's pretty decent in coverage. 72 zone was a C. I'd like to see what some of the other zone grades were, like zone ratings, because if that was a C, there must have been someone with like 80, 82 or something like that, so that's pretty cool. This team is absolutely stacked, but of course it's all about how the team plays, not about how it looks on paper, so let's go out and perform. Hopefully we can do well. Okay, so at the midseason point of year number 3, we are 5-2. That's not too bad. I mean, it's technically worse than the last 2 years, but we're still way in the lead in our division. We're still an amazing team, and it's EA, so honestly, if you have a really good team and you actually perform well, that's kind of a surprise. So we have a breakout here. We're probably not going to get it. Who's this going to be? It's a receiver. Ayuk? Brandon Ayuk? No, Juwan Jennings. Okay, I don't think he's going to get that, but you never know. He might. And of course he doesn't get it. Okay, so super quick before we reveal how the team did this year, if you have made it this far and for some reason you have not already subscribed and liked the video, be sure to do both of those, as well as turn on notifications for my channel, because literally all those things are so easy for you to do, and they help me out so much. And comment down below what team I should do next, because of course if I pick your comment, I will give you a shout out. But let's just go over the team super quick here. Trey Lance really developed this year, up to an 88 with morale. Elijah Mitchell up to a 90 with morale. Even Juwan Jennings up to a 79. Brandon Ayuk up to an 89. Fred Warner a 99. This team is doing amazing, but we do make the playoffs at 13-4. Let's check out some of the stats from this year. So Trey Lance was insane. 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 73% completion percentage. That is amazing. Is that a record for like a certain amount of starts? I don't know, but that's really good. Elijah Mitchell finally did well. 1,400 yards, 4.3 yards per carry, 17 touchdowns, only 1 fumble. Trey Sermon even did all right as a backup. George Kittle had a monster year. 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. Juwan Jennings had 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. But our 2 leading receivers didn't do great. Deebo Samuel only had 900 yards and 3 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk had almost 900 yards with 11 touchdowns, which was good. In terms of blocking, our line was really this might be the best performing line I've ever seen, except for Addison Carruthers. I still don't know how to say his name. He let up 8 sacks as a center. I mean, I guess he played 30 more snaps than everyone else, but still, that's wild. Fred Warner led the team with 105 tackles. I'm glad our tackle numbers are low. That means our offense is staying on the field and they're playing well. Eric Armstead had 21 tackles for loss. Nick Bosa with 17. Raymond Smith with 14. Fred Warner with 10. And in terms of sacks, we had some great pressure this year. Nick Bosa had his worst year, but guess what? It's still 13 sacks. Eric Armstead had 12. Raymond Smith 8.5. Drake Jackson only 6, but that's his best year so far. But this Raymond Smith, did he even start? Well, I guess it looks like he did. I don't know where he started, but he did very well. In terms of interceptions, I'm glad I brought Jimmy Ward back. He got 3. Charvarius Ward got 3. Fred Warner, Niles Hargrove, and Danny Clifton each got 2, and then a couple players got 1. For MVP, Carson Strong on the Buccaneers wins MVP. Okay. He might never even play because of his injuries, but we'll see, man. I don't know how he got on the Bucs, but hey. Trey Lance, only number 7. I'm surprised he's not much higher on this list. Offensive Player of the Year obviously goes to Carson Strong. Trey Lance comes in at number 4. This is a weird group of... Oh yeah, I forgot we traded Jimmy Garoppolo to the Seahawks. Get scammed, idiots. DeMarcus Lawrence wins Defensive Player of the Year. It seems like he wins this quite a lot. I might want to think about getting him sometime. Nick Bosa comes in at number 6. I'm surprised Eric Armstead isn't higher. I think he had a better year than Nick Bosa did statistically, so I don't know. Offensive Rookie of the Year, obviously nobody because we didn't draft anybody on the offense. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Raymond Smith comes in at number 2. No, Isaiah Street of the Giants wins it. No, oh no, Danny Clifton is up there. I'm surprised he's not higher. He had a pretty good year. Either way, though, this was an amazing year 3, our best year so far. We have a 91 overall offense, an 84 overall defense, but here we are taking on the 9-8 Atlanta Falcons. Are we ready to lose this game? Because I sure am not, but we're going to. Falcons have an 85 offense, 79 defense, 82 overall. We're up 6 in terms of offense, up 5 in terms of defense, 5 in terms of overall. And we're at home. We realistically should smoke them, but we're going to lose. No, okay, we do smoke them. 35-13. We have a hot opponent scenario. I don't know what these do because we're taking on the Bucks. We probably are going to lose this game, and I would be okay with that. Let's go be confident. That gives both teams a +10. And we have some upgrades here. Let's see who this is. Probably just depth players. Yeah, Charlie. Whoa, it flashbanged me. That hurt. Jesus. I'm sorry you had to see that. We are 3 overall better in terms of offense. I don't know why we're not much higher of an overall than them. We are a better overall. But let's see if we can take down MVP quarterback Carson Strong in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 14-3. And we can. Okay. So that should be a big stamina boost for us. I'm pretty happy about that. Or morale boost, I guess. Is that what it does? I think that's what it does. Let's go. 3 exclamation points. +10. Oh no, it's +10 break tackle player I can tackle. And 2500 XP. That's actually huge. Oh, we have some big players getting upgrades here. Elijah Mitchell, Trey Lance, Danny Clifton, Javon Kinlaw, a lot of our starters and really important players getting upgrades there. That's actually huge that we won that and got all that XP. But here we're taking on the 12-5 Green Bay Packers. We have an 11 overall difference in terms of offense, 4 in terms of defense, and we're 7 overall better. So let's see if we can take them down. And we do, 35-21. So that means we are in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe that is the team that took me out in my Vikings rebuild. I think that's who beat me in the Super Bowl in year 4, which, spoilers if you haven't seen that already, go watch it. It was a super fun rebuild. It was probably my favorite one I've done so far. But we have some upgrades. Oh, just Demetrius Flanagan. Okay, whatever. I don't care. The Kansas City Chiefs are technically better than us. They have a 1 overall difference in terms of offense. We have the same defense, same overall. They're technically slightly better than us. However, we have the better record, and I believe we are the better team. And now that I say that, we're going to get smoked. So let's see if we can win a Super Bowl with the 49ers. And we do not. I figured. Losing 38-28 to the Kansas City Chiefs. However, this was still a super fun rebuild. This is one of my better teams I've ever created at an 87 overall. So even though we couldn't get a Super Bowl, this is, I would consider this a successful rebuild. Here's one last look at the offense, and here's one last look at the defense. Very amazing team. But of course, if you have not already, be sure to drop a like, a sub, turn on notifications, and let me know what team to do next. Or just comment what you thought about the video, anything like that. Because all those things help me out a ton. Especially turning on notifications, because most people only see my videos once and never get recommended them again, but that ensures that you will get notified whenever I upload, as long as you have notifications enabled. But either way, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you guys again in the next video. Goodbye.
I wonder if there's more out there. Nothing really feels quite right these days.